Alright everyone, this tutorial is going to be for making a kind of like a quiz type game, a study type game. It's going to generate questions. Most of our work is going to be in the user interface, so let's go ahead and start by adding a couple of texts. So we're going to add 2 texts and 2 buttons and 1 input field. So all of these are in user interface. For the input field, let's rename the text to input text. And then for the buttons, let's rename all of these components. Let's make this submit button and go ahead and rename that submit button. I actually want to name the bottom one submit button text. That's what it is. And then for this one, we're going to call this generate question or genQ button. And then for the text, we'll call that genQ text. And then for these texts up here, we're going to call this question text. And then this one will be the message text. So we can generate a question through the question text, and then we can send a message through the message text. Now the question text, we want that to be located just ever so slightly down of front and center. Make it centered on both axes, and then overflow on the vertical just in case. You can adjust in the scene view. If you scroll out like tons, just kind of move it over, get an idea for what it looks like, and then use the rect transform tool to adjust your text size. Alright, we're going to go to message text and then put that one front and center, and then lower it down a little bit or a lot, and then make that one centered. We want to change the font size about 18. You can overflow that one as well. Go to question text, make this font size about 20. We're kind of off on the X, I don't know why. Alright, so those are good. For our buttons, let's put that somewhere clickable. I'm going to go ahead and put those on the right, and then move that one up a little bit, and then take the next button, submit button, and then put that one on the right as well, and move that one down a little bit. For the input field, let's just put that dead center. Looks like we need to move it to the left a little bit. And now we have our general layout. So we also need to go to the camera, turn off the skybox, make it depth only. That'll take some of the color out of this. And we want to change the color of our text to something that contrasts with the background. So we'll make that white. Alright, next up, what we need to do is we need to start generating some questions. So we need an empty game object, and we'll call this one question manager. And then we're going to add a component and then call that one question manager. And we'll start editing that script in Visual Studio. So before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and save my scene and call this questions. I don't know, doesn't matter. Just call it something, save your scene so you don't get frustrated later. So I'm going to bring Visual Studio into the screen, and what we're going to need is a couple of references. So we're going to need public text. Oh, whoa. We forgot to do using UnityEngine.ui. So using UnityEngine.ui. And then we're going to need a public text, question text. We're going to need a public, I want to make this tutorial short and sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and use the script that I've already provided you guys. So I'm just going to paste that in there. And let's see kind of what we need. I'm just going to take this, copy it, delete it, put it up there at the top. And then I'll take this name. We don't need that. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, so we have a text, an input field, a string, a float, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say our text is equal to the text component of the object the script is attached to. No, we don't want that. So let's just assign it manually. We'll get rid of this. We can load and generate questions. So that's definitely something we can do. For the generate question function, our question is going to be an integer between 0 and 3. We're using this as a test. Our question text.text is going to change to question frame. That's a string. We're going to assign question frame momentarily, plus elements names with brackets I. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a text file from our Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to basically gather the element's name from that text file. This is a periodic table type question. Our correct answer will be in our answer values array. Okay, so these two right here are arrays. An array of strings, those are the element names. An array of floats, those are the answer values. Maybe it's like, I don't know, atomic number or atomic mass or something like that. When we submit an answer, we want to check the input field's text property and then compare that to our correct answer. You have to do .toString because input fields have strings. And then if they get it right, we can tell them, okay, awesome job, you're a scholar. If they get it wrong, you need help badly, or maybe you could, I don't know, point them in the right direction. That'd probably be a little bit better. And then in the beginning, we do want to load some of those questions. So what we're going to look for is if file exists, application data path, myquestions.dat. You know what? I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to, I want to make this something that you can work with. So let's make it .txt. So we'll name something, maybe my questions. I don't even want to make it my questions. I want to make it element names. Okay, so element names. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to create a binary formatter. Basically, we're just, you know, kind of reformatting things so that it's in a readable form for Unity. TXT, and this will be element names. Make sure that the caps match up with your file, and then make sure that the file type matches up with your file. So this is a text file. You can make this in Notepad, so it's rather easy to do. And then down here, you'll notice we have this serializable class, PT-info. Do we need that? Maybe. I wonder. You know what? I think we're just going to scrap this method. We're not even going to do that. We're going to do something else when we load. So just get rid of all that, and then we'll get rid of this serializable class. And we will get rid of all that save stuff. Here's what we're going to do to load. So we're going to look for the file inside of application datapath. Datapath is just the assets folder. So I'm going to take an elements names file and then throw that in there. So it's literally just a text file, and all it has is just like all of our elements, you know, taking up one line. Oh, it's good that I clicked that because these should not have spaces. You know what? It's not too important. I'll fix that later. Anyway, so you have this file. It's got all of our elements names, each one on a separate line. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell our script here to read each name off of a line and store it into our array of strings, our element names. So we're just going to say, I believe it works like this: element names equals file dot read all lines, and then we have to tell it where to go. Application data path plus element names dot txt. By saying that, now it's going to store every line in a separate part of that array, and we should get an array length of 118, which means the last array value will be on array element 117. Okay, and then I'm going to take another file here. I'll call this, let's say, element number. Okay, element number, and these ones are stored properly, so element numbers. I'm going to do the same thing here. Where is my Visual Studio? Did I just close Visual Studio? That's terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and store all of my element numbers in a separate array, and I'm going to use the same general format. So if file exists, application data path, but this time instead of saying names, it is numbers. And this one should be, let's create another array. You know what, we'll use answer values. Answer values. Is answer values a float or an int? Let's make that an int. Okay, and then we'll go back down here. You know, why are we making our lives difficult? Let's just make it a string. Okay, answer values are strings. So then we're just going to take from element numbers. All right, so we have element names, names, numbers, numbers. And we're storing this in the element names array and the answer values array. And then I'll go ahead and save that, and I'll show you what it looks like when we start up the game. We do need to change up generate question a little bit. Int I equals unit_engine.random.range. We're going to change this from 0 to 117. Actually, we can make it 118 because it's an int, so it doesn't include the last number. Question text.text is question frame plus elements names I, and then correct answer equals answer values I. Correct answer, that needs to be a string as well. So string, okay, and then infill.text, we're just going to reset it every time we generate a question so that when they type in, they don't have like whatever they type for their last question. When we submit an answer, we want to check if their infill.text is correct answer. We don't need .toString anymore because we're just going to make correct answer a string. And it needs to be correct answer. Yeah, just correct answer. Okay, and then that should be good. So we'll try this, see what it looks like. We do need to set up something real quick in the question manager. We need to put our question text, and then we need to put our input field and our question frame. We should type this in. What is the atomic number of blank? And then our elements names and answer values will fill up on their own. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a new text for our message because we want to do this right, and I did that very fast before. So we're going to call this message text, and it's a very simple change here. Where we check the answer, we want to change not question text, we want to change message text. Okay, and then hit play and check what happens. So we got what is the atomic number of cobalt. Oh, it looks like that's kind of ugly. Message text doesn't say anything. I should probably delete that just for the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and put in like 1 and then hit, oh, I didn't even choose the submit button. That's terrible. Okay, so the buttons don't do anything. So we're going to go to our message text and just delete that, get rid of that. And then we're going to go to our submit button and go to the text on it and then call that submit so we can tell the difference between the two. Go to our generate question button, call that generate question. Maybe put a space in between. Now on the button itself, we have to go to the on-click menu down here, press plus, choose the object in the scene. It's called question manager, so let's go down to question manager, and then go to the script, and we're generating a question, so generate question. Then we'll go to our submit button, plus, find in our scene question manager, and then find the submit function, submit answer. Okay, and then now let's try this. So if everything is working, what is the atomic number of copper? I'm going to put in a wrong answer, click submit, and it says object reference not set to the instance of an object. We're looking at line 47. Oh, we didn't assign our message text. Okay, so I promise this is like the last fix, I hope. Message text, let's take our message text, drag that in here, and then hit play one more time. This time I'll get it right. Okay, atomic number of nobelium. So nobelium is actually, where is nobelium? Nobelium should be around here somewhere. Nobelium. It's actually element 102. I have to add 1 because this is an array. So I'll hit submit, and then awesome job, you're a scholar. Let's generate another question. Notice how it clears out this guy. And our text is not cleared. Why do we have another text? Can you see that? What is the atomic number of, and then like nobelium is left over? That's really weird. Why do we have two texts here? And why is it bold? That's like super weird. This is completely throwing me for a loop. What's going on here? So generate question. Okay, that part looks normal. I don't see any reason why this should be happening. Is that like not a thing? Message text? Input field, input caret, what? What's going on here? Apparently, I can disable stuff and it's not showing. My game is my Unity engine is bugged. So yeah, this is super not right. I should be able to, like, none of this is disappearing. That's so weird. So weird. Is my canvas messed up? No, there's something wrong with my Unity engine. Anyway, that should be it. This should work on yours. I'm gonna go ahead and try it on a different version of Unity. So I'm gonna just like save this scene. Gotta exit play mode, file, save scene. And then I'm gonna open up a different version of Unity to see if that makes a change. This should be enough. So I think that's all we need. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm gonna try this really quick. Okay. That was really weird. That usually doesn't happen. Every once in a while the editor has issues. It's almost ready. It's on that hold on stage. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the script real quick one more time. We need Unity Engine UI, and system.io. Those are the three things we need. Then we're going to create these variables. Let's reload. Sorry about that. Computer does not like to play nice right now. This is really weird. Let's try and open Question Manager. That may open and it may not. Okay, so we have question text, message text, input field, question frame, string, element names, string array, answer values, string array, correct answer, string. So let's go to Unity. Let's see if this works. I mean, that was really weird last. No, it's doing it again. Are you kidding? Is it this? Is it that low aspect ratio thing? No, it can't be. I'm on free aspect. 16 by 10, 10 by 10. Now I'm tempted to build this and see what's going on. Build and run. Error debugging. Oh, it's asking me for a folder. New folder, errors. Let's call this errors. And then we'll just select that one. All right, so this will build. Is it because I went depth only? Maybe? Maybe I need to go solid color? I don't know, that was very strange. Okay, I'm gonna open this windowed mode, play. Ooh, that's super large window. No, it's doing the same thing. And it's not generating the questions properly. That is crazy. Wow. Unity's text is so not good. Let's do solid color, see if that changes anything. Okay, I did not know that. Apparently depth only totally ruins all text. All right, so let's try building this again. File, save scene, file, save project, file, build and run. That was so weird. Okay, so make sure you do solid colored, not depth only. I'm gonna make this a much smaller window this time. All right, our method is not generating any text. Maybe I need a, I think I need a folder. And then I need to call this no, I don't think I need a folder. Let me try this. Instead of application data path, let's call this application persistent data path. I think that'll work. Persistent data path, and persistent data path. Let's try that. So we're going to build this. Did I save that? I think so. All right, still not working. Now I'm confused. Let's see what's going on. Maybe I should use StreamingAssets. So we'll take this folder, rename it StreamingAssets, and then put those two text files in there. And then we'll change this to StreamingAssets path. Try that. Let's try it in play mode first, and then we'll build it and test it. Generate questions, so those are working. Great. File, save scene, save project, build and run. If we're lucky, this is going to work. Play. Okay, so we got it to work. Just put the file in StreamingAssets, and that is what we need. All right, that's it, and see you guys later.